Welcome back to the channel, the Ian West Network. And today we're going to talk about two different, I'm going to say mice. I'm sure that's the plural. If it's not, two mouses, but two mice. One being the MX Master 3 to the left, and to the right, that being the MX Vertical. Now, both of them retail at $99. You could purchase them at places such as Amazon, Logitech website. If you want to purchase in store, you're like me and you don't feel like waiting for shipping, you can go to a Micro Center, or you can even go to a Best Buy. Best Buy actually carries both these mice. And again, they're both $99. On occasion, you might find a sale, but realistically, I always see them for the regular price. Let's talk about the headset a little bit. I said headset, I apologize. Let's talk about the mice real fast, just to give you an idea of what they both can do in terms of comfortability and button mapping. So number one, most important, this actually supports quick charge. And what I mean by that is you can put this on the charger for about 1 minute and you'll actually get 3 hours of battery life. Now, a full charge, and we're talking about people that actually use the device on a regular basis, you can get about 70 days worth of battery life. And I know I was a little skeptical about that too until I actually started using it. This one is a 2018 model, the MX Vertical, while the, what's the gentleman called right here, MX Master 3, see that right here, it's actually a 2019 mouse, and I don't believe they had an update to this yet, but they both do support Mac, iOS. I'm sorry, that is iOS, Windows, and now Linux. On the other hand, when I look up the specifications, it looks like the MX Master 3 can support Linux, but it doesn't say anything about this one. So take that as it is. Though most users is always on Windows 10. The average user, a Chromebook or a tablet, it works for both of those. And of course, the most important feature, the battery is internal. Now, it is possible, I can't speak for this one, but it is possible for the MX Vertical where when you purchase this, it actually comes with replaceable batteries inside the box. In addition to that, they're both Bluetooth. They have the receiver. If you don't have Bluetooth connected to your computer, that's okay, because you can use the receiver, which is what I'm doing, because I feel as if the receiver is a little bit more responsive than Bluetooth on a PC. And but optional if you wanted to use this on your tablet, on your phone, or your device. I've actually used this on my Android tablet. It is possible, or you could just use it on any Bluetooth device. All right, so moving forward, let's talk a little bit more about this. Push these up to the side right here. Let's talk about a little bit more about this device itself. As you can see, it is a comfortable design. The difference between, one of the major differences between this one, the MX Master 3 and the MX Vertical, is that the MX Master 3 actually has multiple buttons. What I mean by that, you have 7 mappable buttons. When you download these, you have the option to download the Logitech software for both of these mice. Now, you could change it to mappable buttons. Personally, I don't, on the simple fact that I'm using this one. So I have my front, my back button to go backwards and forward. These are your clickers. This is your roller. On the other hand, this one uses magnets in a roller, and it has a much more better feel to it. I don't know if you can hear that. Do that 3 times just in case you can hear it. It actually uses magnets. It's much more responsive. So if you're scrolling in a page, you can just slightly scroll, and what'll happen is the page will slowly move inch by inch, rather than the typical mouse, which will take you almost to halfway down the screen if you scroll too hard. Of course, you also have your side scroller right here, which I actually love this feature. I've been using this when I play Dragon Age and a few other games. Right where your thumb rests, this in actuality is a mappable button. Then you have your back and your forward buttons. The DPI for this is 4,000, same as this one, the highest it can go. On the back is your on and off button, same as this one right here. And these allow you to scroll through different computers. Because you can actually set this up where it can go through like multiple monitors, multiple computers. So the transitioning and switching is easier. Personally, I don't do that. I just have mice for every device that I have. So I don't have that issue. But for someone else that doesn't want to do that, that's what we're talking about here. Flow cross computer control. That's what that button is for the bottom. Like I said, the app has the customization. Pretty simple. It also shows you your battery life for your device also, in case you want to know how charged your mouse is. Personally, I don't really use the app. I have it, but I haven't mapped any buttons. What I normally do is like every month and a half or so, I'll just plug up this mouse overnight and it's charged the next day. Even though it doesn't take that long to charge a mouse, that's just me. My computer, my Xbox One controller is always connected to my PC. I'll just take out that because they both have USB-C. Forgot to mention that. So right here, you have your USB-C for this mouse. And right here, same. All right, so the thing about mouse pads, the mouse is I can sit here and spout a bunch of specs to you, and most people aren't going to know what I'm talking about unless you're an avid mouse user. So right now, we're just going to do a comparison on the feel. Now, this particular one, I believe you can have up to 32.8 feet, roughly 33 feet, while this one is actually 33 feet away from the computer itself. I don't know who's going to do that on a particular device unless you're sitting on a couch and you're hooked up to a TV or a huge monitor and you want to be a certain distance. That's the only way you're going to be that far away with a mouse pad. In terms of feel, I'll be honest with you, I'm more of a fan of the MX Vertical, only on a simple fact that of this ergonomic design. Let me show you this right here. I personally like the ridges and the way the design feels. I love it. Like it's easy for my hand. And I will say this: initially, when you get these type of mouses, it feels a little odd, right? Because I actually started off with a different ergonomic mouse from Amazon. I just tried it out, and I said I really like this. So eventually, I ended up purchasing this one, and I was like, $100 for a mouse. That is ridiculous. But I will say that I have never switched the mouse again since I've been through a lot of them. Different designs, something to look nice hooked up to my computer because I have different computer setups and, just to bring out your own personality. But with this particular mouse, it didn't matter. This thing feels extremely, when I say extremely, it's like if you were just to go and hold a glass. You just place your hand on here. Your clickers are already here. You never have to adjust your fingers. I will say that if you have really, really overly big hands, like extremely long fingers like Shaquille O'Neal, then this mouse would be a little bit better for you because of the length and the design where your finger can actually wrap around this if you have longer fingers. Me personally, as you can see, there's still finger room in the front. Show you that. While on this one, I'm basically at the front of the headset. So if you have longer fingers, then it might be a little bit more cramped and this mouse wouldn't be for you. But if we're just talking about just the feel and quality, again, they're both $100. Keep in mind, this is a 3-year-old mouse, 2018, while this one is a 2-year-old, 2019. I haven't seen a model newer in this particular design under Logitech yet. So I'm sure it's Logitech. I'm sure they'll make a new one eventually that'll trump this one by far. But until that happens, these are definitely the two mice that I would normally suggest, especially to someone that has issues with possible carpal tunnel or having cramping with their hands. You don't want to use a traditional mouse where it'll actually give you, I wish I kind of brought in a traditional mouse with me for this video, but that's okay. What's done is done. So anyhow, like I said, let me get now into the nitty gritty. Like I said, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buttons. That's what they include, buttons. But these are mappable in case you don't want to go front and back. Personally, that's what I use. Again, I don't really change it. I always leave things exactly the way they are, except for maybe the clicker speed or the DPI. I might want to change how fast the mouse actually moves around the screen. That's something I will change. But that varies between person to person. And to be honest, any typical mouse allows you to do that. You don't have to pay $100 to do that. Also, these don't need pads underneath them. Typically, the cheap mice that you find in stores need the pad in order for it to work properly. This can actually work on glass. Both of these can work on glass just fine. Any surface. I can put this on my leg and just move it around and it works perfectly fine. So if you're the type of person where you're looking for high quality, you don't want to have something that requires a battery. Now, this does have this circular battery that goes inside. I believe this one does too. I know it's replaceable on this one. I only had this mouse since, I don't know, it's maybe half a year now. No, longer than that, about a year for this one. And this one only about a week, 2 weeks maximum. And my wife so far is loving this mouse. She has really small, little stubby fingers. And she really likes this mouse. She says it's very comfortable. And again, I will say this to anyone that's really into the top of line equipment. Once you switch to these type of mice, buyers beware. it's going to be very hard to go backwards. It's kind of like changing your lifestyle. You're doing better, you're making more money, and then as you upgrade, it's more difficult to go back to the humble beginnings of older and cheaper products. So just keep in mind, these do have warranties depending on the store you go. If you go to Micro Center or Best Buy, they do offer insurance plans, which I do suggest you getting these, because 9 times out of 10, once you buy these mice, you're never going to replace them. And if something breaks, do you really want to spend $100 to replace it? I certainly don't. So they'll tell you the plans that they offer for how many years and whatnot. And you can just go from there. The difference between Micro Center's plan is that if something goes wrong, you actually get the credit back. So let's say the next year's mouse comes out, you'll have that full credit of whatever you pay for at the moment for this or this one at Micro Center. They'll give it to you on a gift card. And if the next mouse, which is probably 99 because the previous ones were also, you could just go ahead and pick up that one, which I'm sure will have equal, if not better performance than this one. Anywho, that is the video. Like I said, they're $99. It's not as much in-depth review as I normally do because they're only mice. They only can do so much. But again, comfort is a big thing. And I tell people all the time, please get what suits you rather than what everyone else is telling you. Or don't be cheap. Just buy what you like. You don't have to. There are other ergonomic mouse like this that you can get for $15, $16, $20, $30 on Amazon. It really depends. I'm just showing you the Logitechs, and these are the ones that I personally stick with. Also, last, just say hello to the little kitty, which is not supposed to be on this table. Yeah, you're not supposed to be on here. You're really not. And that's the end of the video, guys. So I'll see you in the next one.